Hey guys, so today we're going to look at trying to solve linear equations that are just a little bit more difficult than what you're used to. Just a little bit of a recap, one of the biggest rules that we've learned now with algebra and in particular with equations is that what we do to one side we must do to the other. So for your previous homework we had something as simple as 2x is equal to 5, and if I wanted to find out, 2x is equal to 10, and if I wanted to find out what x is, I divide this by 2, but I have to do it to the other side because that's part of our rule. So 2 into 2 goes once, that gives me x, and 2 into 10 goes 5 times, and that will be my answer. Okay, so that was one of the first things that we learned. And there's other ways in which we can apply this rule. So when we look at this equation here, so we have 3x plus 4 is equal to 13. I want always I want to get x by itself. So if I want to get x by itself, I need to take 4 from this side to get rid of that 4. And if I do it to one side, I must do it to the other. So plus 4 minus 4, they'll cancel. And 13 minus 4 will give me 9. So now I have 3x is equal to 9. And again, going back to this first kind of method that we used, we divide both sides by 3. And what I'll get is x is equal to 3. And that can be the same, for example, if we have an equation where we have a minus number in the equation. So if we had minus here instead, well then we know that we add on both sides. So just to give you an example of that, here we have 6y minus 4 equals to 26. So if I want to get rid of that minus 4, I would plus 4 on both sides. And then that would give me 6y. These cancel and I get 30 on the other side. And if I divide both sides by 5, I get by 6, I get y equals to 5. Okay, kind of running out of space there to do it, but like so. Okay, so in those previous examples, what we're always aiming to do is balance the equation. Okay, now we have a little bit of a different example where I have plus 1 on this side and I have an x value on this side as well. So again, always one rule that we always learn. So one rule that we always learn in algebra, it's kind of an unwritten rule, is that we say that the letters in an equation like this, so that's the terms that have a variable, should always be on the left hand side, and the numbers always should be on the right hand side of the equal sign. So keeping that rule in mind and thinking about the rules that we've learned before, we know that we want to get rid of this plus 1 on this side. And in order to do that, I have to subtract 1. And if I do it to one side, I must do it to the other. So I have to subtract 1 here. Okay? If I rewrite that, then I get 6x. These cancel. And I get 4x plus 7 minus 1 gives me plus 6. Put a little x in there. Okay. Now I can see that the problem I have now is that I have a 4x here. Alright, and I don't want that to be there. So again, what I can do is I can subtract 4x from this side, but if I do it from that side, I must do it from the other side. When I go and do that, then I get 6x minus 4x, that gives me 2x. 4x minus 4x, they cancel, and I get 2x is equal to 6. And then the last step, I divide both sides by 2 to get x is equal to 3. Okay, so let's try that with another example then. Always just remember letters to the left, numbers to the right of the equal sign. So again, if I just want letters on the left side of this equal sign, I'm going to be subtracting 1 from this side. And if I do that, I'm going to have to subtract it from the other side. When I go, so I always just do this step by step. So plus 1 minus 1 will cancel. So I have 4x on this side. I have a 2x, and then plus 11 minus 1 gives me plus 10. Okay, so if you want to put like lines under them to make it a little bit easier, like a subtraction kind of sum that you would have done in primary school, that's fine. Okay, my next step then, I want to make sure that I only have numbers on the right hand side of my equal sign, which I don't. I have this 2x, so now I need to try and get rid of that. So how would I do that? I would subtract 2x from that side, and if I do it to one side, I must do it to the other side, and then I would get 4x minus 2x gives me 2x. 2x minus 2x, they cancel, becomes 0. And then I have 10. And then if I divide both sides by 2, I will get x is equal to 5. Now I want you to just pause the video, have a go with this question here and see how you get on, and then when you're done, press play and I'll continue. Now just remember that this time, when I'm trying to just have letters on the left hand side, I have a -4 here. So I want you to think about how I would get rid of that -4. Okay, so let's have a look then. If I want to get rid of that -4, I'm going to add 4 on this side. And remember, if I do it to one side, I must do it to the other. And when I do that, then I have 5y, these cancel, equals to 2y, and then -25 plus 4 gives me -21. Okay, remember that one you can pop into the calculator if you're still unsure of your integers. Now I need to make sure that all I have on the right hand side is numbers, and it's not, because I have this 2y. So again, I'm going to subtract 2y on this side, and if I do it to one, I must do it to the other. When I do that, I'm going to get 3y on this side. These will cancel, and I have 3y is equal to -21. I will divide both sides by 3. And what I should get is y equals -21 divided by 3 gives me -7. And that's my answer.